One of the witnesses from the Monterey Hotel saw a suspect vehicle, which was a red RAV4, leave with the suspect that had just robbed them, getting inside and leave the area. Officer J.A. Ledyard, ID number 76081, saw that suspect vehicle in the 1000 block of Line Street and immediately conducted a traffic stop. When he stopped the vehicle, he gave loud verbal commands for the suspect to exit the vehicle, and a passenger got outside the vehicle with his hands up. As soon as he turned his attention back to the suspect fired several shots at Officer Ledyard. Officer Ledyard returned fire several times from his duty weapon, and that suspect vehicle at that point fled the scene west on Line Street. The suspect was later caught in the 1300 block of Picketville Road, hiding in a dumpster. A firearm was recovered at the scene. Officer Ledyard was placed on administrative leave per JSO policy. No officers were injured in this incident. The state attorney's office is here to conduct their own investigation, and charges are pending on the suspect. The passenger was injured and transported to a local hospital in critical but stable condition. He's currently in surgery at a local hospital. And with that, I'll answer any questions that I can.
So the officer we had heard initially, sir, was injured with minor injuries. Was he not hit at all by gunfire?
He was not struck by gunfire, no.
Not injured at all?
He had minor scrapes and stuff like that. But
so the timeline on this, there was one robbery over on Edgewood, then a second robbery 10 minutes later. Just so I got my facts straight, the officer that was involved in this skirmish with the suspect spotted the vehicle, pulled it over, and then that's when this all began.
He was actually not a skirmish. He was shot at several times. His vehicle was struck approximately 5 to 6 times. But yes, it was about 20 minutes later. He spotted the vehicle, conducted a traffic stop. The vehicle did stop, but fired shots at him.
And the passenger was shot in the process?
The passenger was injured. We're still working through the investigation to find out what happened to him.
But the suspect has no injuries?
Suspect has no injuries. He has been taken into custody safely, and we're conducting interviews for the rest of our investigation now.
And when was the first robbery?
The first robbery again was at 1:45 p.m. this afternoon.
Okay.
10 minutes later, which is 1:55, the second robbery took place.
And both males, do you have age and description on the...
Both males, one Hispanic male, one black male, and there was also a white female in the vehicle. We're going to withhold their identification right now while the investigation is still early. We have some things that we need to process before we do that.
And that was all the shots where we see the markers are located?
That's correct.
And the officer's vehicle, you said, was shot at several times?
The officer's vehicle, the officer and his vehicle was shot at several times. The vehicle was struck up 5 to 6 times.